Okay, so let's look at this on number 5. So this is your thing. Practice today. The exercise teach sin is not real, and that all that you believe must come from sin will never happen. That's exactly what you were just saying, Tyranny. For it has no cause. See, then we undo it. If you take away the basis of something, it has no power anymore. You know, remember the great and mighty Oz, you know, when he was the man, the curtain and the big shadow up there. Do not look at the man behind the curtain. Look at blah, blah, and all the lightning and the big powder and the big face up there. But as soon as Toto, all these are so metaphysical, little willingness, little Toto pulls the curtain back, and we see that the big and powerful Oz is nothing more than a man behind a curtain. It has no power anymore. It is causeless. So that when we rest in love, like you said, when we recognize that everything is an extension of love or a call for love, and the only need in this world is love, you take fear away, you emasculate fear, you make it impotent, it has no power, so it's nothing. You know, so that's what it's basically saying. It has no cause. Sin will never happen, for it has no cause. You take it away. You make it a mistake. You make the thought of separation unreal. Never happened. And how do you get rid of the cause? By seeing that its effects have no basis, have no power anymore. How do you get rid of that? Well, for us, it is by replacing the lie with the truth. God's will for me is not pain and suffering and sin. God's will for me is happiness. You know, we don't realize that this is the secret of all ages. It's the ointment that we've been looking. It's our holy grail. And it is given us in 365 different lessons and a text filled with wisdom that leads us back to the truth. You know, this is our holy grail of awakening. You know, again, let's not wait till death to get this and arise. It says you will, by the way. Did you get that? If you wait till death, you will awaken. You know that? So all those who have passed on have an inside track that we're not even aware of. It's not a bad thing. But let's not wait till then. Let us do it now. Let us do it now. You know, let us awaken to the truth that is here now for us. Why wait? It does not have to be. Accept atonement with an open mind. Accept this healing of the thought of separation. That's all atonement is. A healing, the awareness of the healing of the thought of separation. Accept atonement with an open mind, which cherishes no lingering belief that you have made a devil of God's son, that you are not this evil thing that you think you are. There is no sin. How many times has this been said in this lesson, by the way? It says there is no sin. It is not real, over and over, over and over, over and over. We practice with this thought as often as we can today because it is the basis for today's idea. If you do not realize that there is no sin, you do not know God's will for you is perfect happiness. You cannot hold one and get the other. So if I believe sin is real, then I will not believe God's will for me is perfect happiness. When I know that there is no sin, I can accept this fact. I can accept this truth. It says you cannot accept both of them. You cannot accept sin and your happiness. Okay? God's will for me is perfect happiness. And again, because there is no sin. And suffering is causeless. Joy is just and pain is but a sign you have misunderstood yourself. Wow. And every day we have a lot of pain. Emotional, physical, we got lots of stuff going on in our lives. So again, to me, this isn't where you go, oh, how awful. I'm not there. It's just it's a guidepost. It's a sign. Just like it says in the Course, the purpose of the world is to heal the Son of God. If you don't use it for that purpose, you bind to the laws of violence and death. So if I'm binding to the laws of violence and death, I'm not using the world for its proper purpose. What can I do then to avoid that? I need to start using the world for its proper purpose. Okay? So don't get upset if you see sin or you feel pain, if you see pain or you feel pain. It's a guidepost for us to say, this is not what I want anymore. Okay, here's a sign I need to correct something. That's what that means. When you get angry or upset, it's not, oh, what an awful person I am. I'm not doing the Course right. No, it's a sign something needs to be healed here. Use it in that way. Don't reinforce more guilt upon yourself than the ego has you by the, excuse me, my father's old terms, the short hairs. It's an old army term. But I heard that growing up all my life. And it's a good example because what it's saying is, in a very intimate way, you're God. Okay, so don't use it that way. When you feel this, recognize you have another choice. Awaken. Use this as a wake-up call for you. Joy is just and pain is but a sign. You have misunderstood yourself. Fear not the will of God, but turn to it in confidence that it will set you free from all the consequences sin has wrought in feverish imagination. Not just imagination, feverish imagination. This is you can just weave worlds in your imagination, craziness in your imagination. Have you ever sat there in your mind at 3 o'clock in the morning when you cannot sleep? And you sit there and think, oh, this person's this and that, and what if this and that, and all that's your feverish imagination going wild. It's where you need to stop it. That's pain. That's where you need to stop it and say, God's will for me is perfect happiness, not this mess. And that's when you claim it. That's when you say, God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin. It has no consequence. And it goes on, look at that, the last one there. It says, God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is the truth because there is no sin. This is my reality because everything that I have believed from this crazy ancient learning, as the Course talks about, is not real. It says, so start your practice periods, then attempt again to find the joy these thoughts will introduce into your mind. Give 5 minutes gladly to remove the heavy load you've laid upon yourself with the insane belief that sin is real. We've done this to ourselves, therefore we can undo it. We can make a new lunch. Today escape from madness. You are set on freedom's road. And now today's idea brings wings to speed you on and hope to go still faster to the waiting goal of peace. There is no sin. So remember that. His will for me is perfect happiness. This is the truth. That's the truth. That's his will for me. Sin is not real. There is no sin.